Cameras and action. Hello, everybody.
Hello. Hello.
Happy
Hello.
Hello.
Sunday.
Happy
Happy
Sunday.
Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
How are you guys doing today? The weather is beautiful.
It's wonderful out there. Wonderful.
Well, I
It's
am in Georgia and it is cold and rainy. It is like
Is
65
it?
degrees and
uh
raining.
that's
Yes.
summer. That's summer up here.
Hello. I'm like, how is Michigan weather better than our
Yeah,
weather?
because we got some beautiful weather right now.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
It is
Yes.
Mm-mm.
barbecue and cognac season today.
Listen, and if anybody follow Parks defensive strategy, he is always smoking something, grilling something. It is always something funny to watch on his page when he is cooking. I am not kidding. And
Got to.
his kids are involved too. So the apples do not fall far from the tree when you watch. So listen, everybody, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And we wanted to come on. It's a kind of a heavy topic, but we wanted to just shed some light. It's been a uprise in domestic violence, which Tquan wanted to talk about domestic violence and how people cannot deal with rejection, which we know have really been a big deal lately. It's been a lot of killings, a lot
Yes.
of suicide. How do you say it, Tquan, when they kill somebody and then they kill themselves?
It's a situation where we can look at it as, and oftentimes we often say in law enforcement and the environment I work in, we say, well, why don't you just kill yourself first? Work from backwards to front. But that's not what it is. It's the
Yeah.
situation of I'm hurting and I want you to feel this hurt just as well. If we look at the brother, God rest his soul. I mean, none of us are here to judge because we don't know what the internals, except for the good doctor that's on here, knows. But you took a life, attempted to take a second, went home, switched cars, picked your kids up, gave them money, and then you were approached by the police. That's a calculated level of hate. How does it go from love to hate that in depth?
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
crazy. So we're gonna be talking about all of that today.
Yes.
So, Aaron, what you got for us before we introduce the guest?
Before we introduce our guests, we want to ask one question.
Drum roll.
Where are we going today?
We're going
All
all
the
the way
way
there.
there.
Yes.
Where are we going today? All the way there. Let's go. Where are we going today? 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 All the way there.
And for everybody that's watching, everybody know that Tanya is taking a much needed break. And she will be back with us soon. But until then, we
Got to deal with me.
gotta deal with Aaron. But it's all good, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, Aaron.
So today's icebreaker, we always have an icebreaker at the top of the show. And since this month is mental health awareness month, I just want to go around the table and ask everybody, when the world tries to get you down and you get stressed and you feeling the weight of the world, what and where is your happy place? Ladies first.
Okay, Miss Patsy, since you're the guest.
So, my happy place is I do like to go to the gym to relieve stress, get on a treadmill, lift some weights. That's primarily, and secondarily, if I have the opportunity, I like to go to the beach.
Mm. Beach is always a nice place to escape.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, believe it or not, my home is my safe place. I
Yeah.
don't have a lot of people in my home.
Mm-hmm.
If you have ever been invited to my home, and it's not to make anybody feel excluded, but if you have been invited into my home, know that you are included because my house is my safe haven.
That's right.
So for me, I'm home, I have a good book, and I probably have my favorite ice cream of some sort.
Mr. Tquan.
I think my safe place, ironically, is the water.
Okay.
I'm a as I've been told, I am a Leo. I'm a fire sign.
Okay.
So I'm very well and get this at 46, I'm a lot different than I was at 26.
Mm-hmm.
At 26, I had to be around people, the parties, the family functions, and that was my happy space. Now, give me the water, give me a little Tito's and cranberry, give me my little Bluetooth speaker with the whispers on it. Listen, I'm telling y'all, I can go fishing, and I don't care if I catch nothing but a cold or a buzz, and I'm happy.
Yes, sir.
I'm happy as you evolve.
That's
The things that level you will get you together. I used to ride to work listening to G's and all that. Now I tell Siri, throw on some Fred Hammond, and I'm
That's
glad I don't
right.
care who
That's
cut in
right.
front of me. I'm just like, you go ahead because I have a sign on my desk every day that says, "Lock your mental gate."
Yes.
That's good.
Yes.
Think about this. The gate at your home, when you pull into your home, you lock your gate to protect and
Yes.
exclude the outside world from your property.
Yep.
Your mind is your intellectual property.
That's
So
right.
you have to lock your gate and protect here.
Ooh, child, the Bible even says that too.
The Bible gives you all the avenues you need. I promise
Guard
you.
your heart.
Heart and mind with
Absolutely.
eyes, with all diligence. Yeah.
For out of it flows this. Okay, so my happy place is also the beach. I will forget your name if I'm at but what I do immediately is like Keela said, my home, and I'll turn on some jazz. It don't have like the Whispers does it too, but I go deep into jazz, like Shirley Horn, Lena Horn, those kind of people, and just let them take me back. Because Keela teases me about this, and I'm gonna end it real quick. But when I was 7 years old, I was coming home playing Lena Horn and Shirley Horn.
Wow.
Dizzy Gillespie and
Oh,
Donald
wow.
Moore. 7 years old. So those were very good times for me. So that takes me back to those good nostalgic times.
Right.
So good. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what's up.
So our guests today are two powerhouses. And I'm interested. I'm gonna be a student in this one. But instead of me trying to introduce them, I'd like for them to introduce themselves. Miss Patsy Herndon. Tell us who you are.
Well, of course, I'm Patsy Herndon. I am all the little letters you see. How they cost a whole lot of money and time.
Yes, Lord.
But I'm gonna tell you, you good at what you do too.
Thank you. So I'm a licensed professional counselor, hence LPC. I am a certified professional clinical supervisor, hence CPCS, which means I supervise clinicians that want to get full license in different states, and NCC, which means I'm a national certified counselor. And of course, I've been doing this for over a decade. I've worked with all populations, all diagnosis, and I have pretty much good experience, and I love what I do.
Yes,
I was trying to
love
pronounce
it.
I was like Patsy Herndon. Mr. Tquan Parks. Tell the people who you are, sir.
Well, I do not have as many consonants as Miss Herndon, but we do appreciate her work because we know what she has to take on. I am Tquan Parks. I am the owner of Parks Defensive Strategies. Recently graduated Clear University, Bachelor's in Business
That's what's up.
Administration.
Yay.
Yes. I am also an employee of the Detroit Police Department, certain division.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just grateful and thankful for this podcast so we can address some issues that
Yeah.
our community desperately needs to address. Most importantly, our brothers need to address.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. I
Yeah.
mean, it's been such a tragic, and I know that we gonna talk about the domestic violence part of it and the rejection part of it. So, why do you think there is such an uprise? And I mean, it's getting younger. Like kids that are like 13 and 14 in boyfriend girlfriend relationships. Remember back then it was just the kind of like I give you a cookie, you give me a cookie, and that's was the extent of the relationship. I mean, like they are actually being abused
Mm-hmm.
at 13 and 14 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So where do you think this is coming from?
Do you want it? You're asking Tquan to answer first?
Go ahead,
Both
Miss
of
Patsy.
you
You got all them
actually.
letters. Go ahead.
Actually,
So-
both of you.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with a statistic first with that answer.
Mhm.
30 to 60% of women that are domestically abused suffer from mental health illness, usually suffer from depression, suffer from anxiety, suffer from PTSD and substance abuse. And another statistic is exposure to domestic violence significantly impact the children. So when you say, where does it come from? Let's keep that in perspective. Kids see that. They watch that. Yes, they don't want that, as when they're 5, when they're 9 and 10 and 11, seeing their mom get her butt beat. I don't want nobody ever beating me like that. But just unconsciously,
Yeah.
they find themselves in that same relationship at 17 and 18. So that's one perspective. And as I was saying earlier, I want to talk about some attachment styles. This is Bowman. It's a theoretic theory. Bowman operates on attachment styles. There's 4 different attachment styles. There's a secure attachment style. There is the anxious attachment style, the avoidance attachment style, and disorganized one, or the fearful attachment style. And with secure, it means that you had a really secure environment. Your caregiver provided you with your physical and your emotional needs. They gave you the opportunity to explore life in a safe environment, and you were just a little happy kid that you can develop in a safe environment. The anxious one is that you have emotional distance or reluctant to discover yourself because as a child, your parents didn't fully give you all the physical and the emotional needs. They might have provided you with the house, the clothes, the cars, and the light and gas, but emotionally, they didn't give you that. They didn't say, good job. Oh my God, I'm so proud of you. They didn't say that. So you're anxious and you're constantly looking to get that type of improvement. Approval, affirmation. And you can see how that might go into adulthood relationships. And then there's that fearful avoidance. Your caregiver shames you as a child. You're 7 and you cry. Why you crying? Suck it up. You're too old to be crying. Get over yourself. And so now you're teaching that child that, okay, you avoid yourself. You avoid your emotions. You just do what it takes to be in that setting. And you see how that will evolve as an adult. And then there's that last one, which is that disorganized one, which is similar. It's the same thing as fearful. It's like you are trying to please. I know what I feel, but I have to cover up for what I feel, because if I show what I feel, something wrong with me. So that's that disorganized, fearful one. So let's just look at those as a child. And when you get an adult and you anxious, someone's going to leave you. So what do? You sit there and take it. You take the punch in the face, because they say, all you did, you made me mad. If you just didn't make me mad, I wouldn't have done it.
Right.
So that's I'm gonna let Quan answer, but that's some foundationally.
That's
Mm,
so sad.
wow.
Nah, I should have went first because she just hit us with a TD Jake sermon like it's nothing. I'm sitting over here about to grab me some herbal tea or something. But that is spot on because I grew up and it took me a long time. It wasn't until, and Brother Aaron, you can relate to this, being in circles with other brothers.
Mhm.
Black men were not accustomed or
Mhm.
open to counseling.
Yes, sir.
It made us feel, I would always say, I don't need to go talk to nobody. I'm da 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 da. No, let me tell y'all something. The best thing I ever did was talk. And I told my first counselor, I'm gonna make you quit. He was like, no, you're not. I said, I'd have made a Sunday school teacher quit before. I'm gonna make you quit. Needless to say, 8 months later, she retired. I don't know if it was
You didn't quit
but
though.
no, she quit.
No.
But the thing, and it's so profound because once I started to peel back the layers of my onion,
That's just it.
my Vidalia, you feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I got raw with myself.
That's right.
It's when I understood and realized the way I am now.
Right.
The
Yeah.
reason I'm so defense minded is because I grew up in a household where my mother was abused and I was too young to defend her.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I remember being a kid, 7 or 8, thinking, how can I get it? Now we talking back 48204. Okay, if y'all know about the West Side, it was a
Yes.
Wild Wild West over there. You know what I mean? So I remember having thoughts and visions of getting a gun, burying it in the backyard, and I'm gonna kill him the next time he touched my mama.
Mm-hmm.
So I had 2 things growing up that I had to personally carry and debunk. I never had a relationship or knew my father, yet I
Yeah.
had a child at 18. So statistics said that if I did this, I would be an absent father. I
Yeah.
raised 4 children. All of them graduated. I'm active, but I also had that stigma of if you grow up in a household with domestic violence, you're more, and Patsy, you know this, you're more likely to repeat it because it's the carbon copy of which your fiber is predicated upon.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
But me, I
Yes.
was determined, no, I'm not touching
That's
nobody.
what he said.
I'm not doing nothing, none of that. Listen, I would get in my car and me and Remy Martin would drive off. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to debunk that. But it taught me, I realize now, the reason that I'm so passionate, and I've done, and I still do them. So anyone watching this, if you're a victim of domestic violence, contact Aaron, contact Keela. I do CPL classes for domestic violence victims for free, no
Mm.
cost, because we have to get to a point to where this is just as big of a stigma as the national debt because it feeds and fertilizes other behaviors.
Mm-hmm. So can I say something on what you said when you said that you were saying I'm not going to, I'm not going to be the perpetrator of domestic violence on someone else, correctly? And yes, but when you say that, they find themselves doing that same thing, the young men or sometimes young women find themselves doing the same thing that they seen is because we learn how to handle stress from our parents or
Right.
our caregivers.
Yeah.
So this is what we do when things don't go our way. Oh, you punch people. You break stuff. Oh, that's how we do. Instead, and you have to recondition your mind that, oh, I have skills I can use. I can go for a walk.
Right.
Right. I have to accept some things I can't control.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to add that on.
So let me ask this question. Okay, go ahead, sir.
No, she's absolutely correct. It comes from I think with me, it came from a mindset of there are choices.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're missing in society. There are choices.
Mm-hmm.
We've all where we're at now. There's been times when we weren't there.
That's
There's
right.
been times when our money's been funny. Okay,
that's right.
We
that's
had
right.
a choice. Do I go out and steal? or do I grind harder and pray to
Exactly.
God that He stretch this $100 to the next payday?
That's right.
Mhm.
That's right.
Now, while we have free will, there are also consequences
That's
to
right.
that free will.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
right. That's right.
So one question I have is, we talked about the family tradition of abuse. Like if you see your father get hit by, or your mother get hit by your father, and you're a child and you see that, you grow up and you do that in your relationship, but you cast that thing on, you're doing that family tradition onto a person who don't know that family tradition. So
Mhm.
let's just and the reason I asked it, what do you do about that victim? How do you counsel that victim? And the reason I'm asking is because I was married to a woman who saw her father beat up her mother, and she has zero tolerance for any kind of domestic abuse. But
Mhm.
she'll watch movies where the woman's getting beat up all the time. She'll watch
Mhm.
she'll watch The Burning Bed.
Oh wow.
She'll watch Double Jeopardy. All of these abuse of women
Mhm.
movies, and then will fight me. So
Mhm.
here I am. I've never seen that in my house, but now I'm affected by it because it happened in your house. And it makes
Mhm.
me like razor sharp for anybody that I'm dating. Like, well, okay, how is your relationship with your father? So I
Yeah.
feel that impact on me in my
Mhm.
future, even though that marriage is gone. So
Mhm.
it's kind of like, how do you talk to someone who had an impact of somebody else's stuff?
What?
I'm
Oh, go
no,
ahead.
I'm gonna let you answer because you have the professional answer. But it seems like did she watch movies where the woman got the revenge? To me, like both of those movies were that you named.
Yeah, well,
Maybe that was her scapegoat. Like the woman
Mhm.
actually
Gave her
got
the
yeah,
gave her
but
the end result she wanted.
yeah.
she also watched movies like Misery, where the woman was in total control the whole time.
Yeah, but the
Yeah, but that
woman is
was
in control.
Yeah,
You see
right.
what I'm saying? The woman
That's
is still
right.
in control in every movie. So for her, that's
Mhm.
an outlet. Like I'm in control. The man is not gonna get one over. So
Yeah.
it still does make sense. But I'm gonna let Patsy answer it.
No, you're right on that. That gave her the ending that she always looked for every time her mom got beat.
yeah,
Mhm.
So she's seen the victory in every movie. But as far as for you, there's something called secondary trauma,
mm,
which means you weren't directly impacted, but you were indirectly impacted
hmm
because you were on eggshells dealing with her. Like if you dropped something and you was like, oh, she got triggered because that
mm,
means
Yeah.
the fist about to come
mm,
next.
Right.
So you on eggshells. That's why. Oh my gosh, that's a whole nother story. But that's why we got to know ourselves before we decide to get into a relationship.
oh, yeah. Tell me.
Because we got to be able to say, I have some things that have worked through, but there are still things that I continue to work through.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
then if it's not, it end up with people on eggshells like you. And then next thing you know, because of the type of person you are, if she did go violence, you would be the victim of domestic violence because you're not going to hit back.
Right.
But that's her way of gaining. That's what she's seen. That's how you do it. And that's how we end up in Tquan Parks area.
Yeah, exactly right.
No,
It's
real talk.
Special Victims Unit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that was my question. But I wasn't walking on eggshells because I'm always been the kind of person who will speak my mind. But and so we came to this. Okay, this ain't about me, Mr. Tquan. Well, I'll finish it. What we will come to a stalemate, and it was always a one-up thing.
But
It's
you
like,
know what? You say you wasn't walking on eggshells. Walking on eggshells don't necessarily mean you wasn't talking. But
oh,
that anxiety, that internal anxiety of what's about to pop off next, that's eggshells.
Yeah,
I
and
never looked at
see,
it like
I
that.
can't. I that's just too much. But
Yeah.
I think it boils down to, like Patsy said from the very beginning, knowing what you have dealt with and being able to communicate those things
Mhm.
and giving the person a chance to decide, is this something that I want to
Yes,
deal with?
sign up with.
Yes,
That's
right,
right.
right.
Because people can bring a lot of baggage, but I think sometimes vulnerability helps people to heal
Yeah.
a little bit
Yep.
more.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Right, right.
But Tquan have seen a lot
Yes.
in his
Yes.
department being a
Yes.
Detroit police officer. So with what are some of these cases with the suicide? And it's a word I'm looking for.
Suicide, homicide.
Yes, where they
Well,
killed it.
the going thing that really, I mean, and let's not get lost in this. This is not something that's new. This is not the iPhone
Right.
17. This is, I think what it is that it all ties into mental health
Yep.
because we can take an individual who's dating someone and there are signs early on.
Yes.
I'm the type, I don't care who you are, my family, spouse, dating, children. I'm the type, yo, you going here, call me, let me know you made it there safely. Maybe I'm extra because of where I work at and my business, but that can often be misconstrued as, oh, that's controlling. That's because I know what's going on out here.
Right.
And I just want to
Right.
be able to say, you know what I'm saying? Aaron, you may be the same way. You may be say, hey, when you get there, just shoot me a text so I know that you there. So if anything
Right.
goes wrong, I have a
A
waypoint
starting
for
point.
point A.
Right.
Right.
That's out of concern. But I know of an individual situation, a young lady I did her CPL class, she worked at Amazon. She said when she went to work, she had to FaceTime her boyfriend and put the phone up against the computer printer so that he could see who she was talking to and interacting
That
with.
is so sad.
And I said, that didn't raise a red flag. She said, well, not really, because I just, I looked at it as he just want. I said, no, baby girl.
Mm-mm.
That's a possessive, sadistic mind.
Yes.
Something my auntie told me years ago. This was probably about 15 years ago. My aunt Cora said, son, you can't dictate what a grown person gonna do. She said, grown folk gonna do what grown folk want to do. And as long as you run yourself crazy worrying about it, you gonna kill yourself while they doing it.
That's the truth.
We're seeing now, and it's like it was said younger and younger and younger. These women, because they are generational domestic violence witnesses, they feel like this is the love. This is what. And then when you say, no, I don't want to be with you, I finally get the courage, I get the resources to move on. And I want you all to pay attention to something this time next year. We usually see an uptick of this between January through May. Why is that? Because women in those situations receive financial tax returns.
Yeah.
That is their escape avenue. Now Pookie and Ray Ray is thinking, oh, you're not going to just take this money and leave me. Now you're going to break. We don't see this uptick between August or July through December. No, we see it during the fight. See, you got, put those 2 and 2 together. And I told a young lady, I had a young lady, she was being abused. I said, and I always ask this, do you have, I start with brothers, uncles, and fathers.
There you go.
But I don't want to tell them. I say, why? Well, because I don't want to get them involved because I know what they're going to do. I said, let me explain this to you. You need to express to them. You can water it down how you want, but let them know that there's some peril going on in that house. And then you have to go raw. Do you want to wake up dead?
I think sometimes you get so afraid that if you bring other people in it, that what if it don't go the right way for them? They coming over to defend you, which that has happened in a lot of cases.
A lot of cases.
Like where the brother goes over to help the sister and then the brother gets killed. And so sometimes it's just you have this battle going on with, you want to tell somebody, but I don't want to drag them into this situation.
So I want to go back to what you guys were talking about, because we're now talking about you're in the domestic violence, right? I want to go back to how we can prevent the next person from getting into domestic violence.
Yeah.
Even if you've seen that in your home and you think you're okay. And we, especially as Black women, we can overcompensate with our career and think that we're not hurt. We can go get all the degrees and excel up that corporate ladder and think we're okay until it comes to that relationship.
Girl.
And so we don't get any help. You need to go get some therapy. You have PTSD, you're triggered. Why do you think you overreact a lot? And so what happens is then you get to a point that none of your relationship work out. So you start getting into a relationship and you just kind of take whatever they get, because I'd have been dating 10, 12, 20, 30 people. I'm 35, 40 years old. Let me just give this person a try. Like I always break it off. Let me give them an extra try. And you end up in those relationships. Get some help, because you were broken. Something was taken from you in your developmental stage that you need to repair. You need to restore. Go get some therapy to work through those emotions, because you get with those men and like what happens when you say, where's the brother? That's the first thing. Where's the daddy? Where's the brother? You got some uncles with a man in your house that let this man know you are a protected individual. You ain't no island out there. But what happens is those type of women, we keep those men secret.
And that's something that you say that, because that is the truth.
Yeah.
And one thing that I do know about an abuser, and this is from personal experience, when they know that you have people
that support,
they are less likely. I mean, they got to kind of go off on the far end to really do something when they know you got a lot of people. But I'm talking about the average. Once they know you got some backup, some support, you're not in this by yourself, they either are going to dismiss themselves.
Yep.
They're going to leave you alone, or they're going to fall back, which 9 times out of 10, you're going to probably do the breaking up. But it is definitely the truth. That is the truth.
And so and
what
like
Keela, I'm sorry, Patsy. What Keela's basically saying is once the individual knows that you got family members that don't mind using duct tape and shovels, they gonna flee. Okay,
that's right.
No, that's true.
That is so true. That's so true.
I'm speaking from a place of a young man who grew up in a house witnessing it, and also now a father of a 28-year-old and a 17-year-old. When I tell you, my daughter she went to Saginaw Valley, had never brought a dude to meet me. And for a while, I'm like, yo, somebody, you know what I mean? She finally brought a dude. And let me tell you, I got the greatest son-in-law. Me and him go back and forth. He can wordsmith just like me. He ain't timid at all. But when she brought him to me, we had a talk. I walked him to the curb. I say, now you understand what you're dealing with when you're getting hurt.
That's right.
I say she's not easy to deal with.
Right.
She is me in a female form. She ain't easy. I say, but don't make her cry. Don't put your hands on her.
That's
and she always got somewhere to come back to.
Exactly.
Now this young man, shout out to Will. He's a black artist. Y'all got to support he's an excellent black artist. Member of Omega Psi-Phi. But this young man was raised by good people. She come from good people.
Right.
But it was important to have that dialect as a father, as a protector.
That's
Not
right.
to say that he was bad, but you inspect what you expect.
There you go.
And
I like that.
Once I put that plate in front of you, I'm letting you know this is what's on the menu.
That's right.
But I like that you said, because a lot of people do not think this. And Patsy, I'm sure you've had a lot of clients like this. When you know you have somewhere to go, because sometimes a lot of parents, you're 18,
they done.
You done.
And
you figure this out yourself.
Right.
I never not had parents that said you cannot come back home.
That's right.
It was my decision to stay, but at the same time, my parents' door was open. When I finally made the decision, I can't do this anymore. My dad, I'm not kidding, he was on the east side. He got there in 15 minutes. He packed everything. And I said, well, I'll just come back for that later. My dad was like, you take it now because you ain't coming back.
That's right.
And I'm like, okay, cool. And that was that. You have a safe place to go. That is important. A lot of women don't have, or don't feel like they have safe places to go.
But see, you gotta go. Okay, so to let's go back to the red flags. To avoid this, you got friends. If you don't have, because some people don't have those fathers, the uncles, and the
Right.
brothers, you got friends. I know you got some friends. Somebody that you really, really trust, they need to meet that person in advance
Girl.
and listen to them, because your ass not quite wide open.
No,
Theirs
that's the
is.
truth.
And so listen to them. If they say fall back, fall back.
Right.
They can
Yeah.
see some stuff.
Absolutely.
I remember my dad, I was dating this guy, and my dad told me, he said, this is what I want you to do. He said, he seems pretty selfish. This is my dad said, he seems pretty selfish to me.
Mhm.
He said, I want you to ask him to do something that you know he don't like doing,
Mhm.
and see what he say.
Mm.
And I did it. And he
Mhm.
said, I guarantee you, he's not going to do it because he's very selfish, and you don't want to be with a selfish man.
You got that right.
Mhm.
And I did it.
Mm.
And he said, did exactly what my dad said he was going to do.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's why you got to let people involved, because what they try to do when you don't show them you got that support system that you trust early on,
That's so important.
they can isolate you and start feeding you. That's how
Yeah.
we get to this process and getting with those people that's abusing you and cheating on you and
Mhm.
degrading you, is because they fill your mind and you start to believe all those negative thoughts
Mhm.
over and over, because you isolated yourself from your support system.
Mhm.
Wow.
Your friends like, girl, I ain't seen you in 6 months. Where you been? Girl, you know, I'm dating. You know, he want to spend time. But no, you are individual too.
Exactly.
I'm a
Exactly.
wife, but I still got to have my independency.
Mhm.
Mhm. I like that.
Yeah.
That is so true.
And a
like,
lot. I'm sorry, Keela.
no, you say what you were gonna say.
Patsy just hit on something. It just it goes back to inspecting what you expect.
Mhm.
Get to know a brother or a woman before you lock in.
That's
In
right.
this 2023, it is so much mixed jive out here in
Yes,
this dating
sir.
world.
Yes, sir.
You see this macho brother and he this and oh, he got it together, and you don't know really what he like. He's
Right.
dating you as a woman to compliment for what he is missing as a man. And then you got the situation where he's dating you as a woman, but he's sleeping with a man behind your
That's
back.
right. That's right.
But to
That's right.
build him up as a man, he has to unscrew your light
Yep.
bulb as a
Yep.
woman.
Yep.
There's a
Yep.
lot of that going
A lot.
on.
A
A
lot.
I know
whole
Aaron.
lot.
I know Aaron. I know Aaron. We in a whole different era, brother.
But it
We in
is
a
a
whole
lot.
He's like, brush that off. But that's why I want people, and I know I'm saying it like a broken record, but you need, like he said, that Black and Brown is afraid of therapy. But we're afraid of therapy because we don't want to open our closet and clean up under our bed.
Mm.
We have to clean that up to be able to make those logical, beneficial decisions for our future, for our children's future. Because if you're a broken parent, you raise broken children.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Well,
Absolutely.
you guys have said so much that I'm trying to respond to, but that person, remember you said, do you have the uncle and stuff? Men need women to examine the person they're dating as well.
Yes.
So
that's good.
for me, my person's name is Teresa King.
Mm-hmm.
That I run anybody that I'm getting about serious, thinking about being serious with, past her, because she hears from God. And so that's my person. That was my little way of giving her a shout out. But the other thing was something that you said, Patsy, that is now escaping me. But it goes back to the uncle thing. It's innate for a man to want to meet someone that's dating someone that he cares for, like his daughter, his niece, or something like that. And you even see it in the movies with Bad Boys, with Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. came to the door where this dude was finna take out Martin Luther's daughter.
Right.
And what was that movie where 50 Cent's daughter was going to the prom and he took that boy in the
Yeah.
garage with all
Was
these
that Dinner
brothers?
Thieves?
You know, you have to do that. That's therapy for both parties. It's for her to feel safe and for him to know that there's a wall that's watching. So, I mean, I just, you know, it is therapy. I never looked at it as therapy, but that is so, it should have a place in every family.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly.
I kind of look at my family, this is the end of it, what I'm gonna say, but I kind of look at my family and we have people who do things on their own. And then when they do it on their own and it's they're out there in trouble, then they come back and want help.
Yeah.
If we were involved in the beginning, maybe that would have been thwarted. Maybe that would have been
right.
But if you go out there and you won't listen to anybody and you just date this dude and you want everybody to receive him, and so when we meet him, you guys are already together. And,
right.
you know, you guys already got a child.
Right.
So now that you haven't promised, you want us to jump in. It's like, I don't even know this dude, you know?
Right.
So
I think
you
a
know,
lot.
Aaron, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Just hit me, Keela.
Okay.
What Aaron was just saying. I think it starts at the ground level of take a brother and a sister being raised in a household as a kid. My mother always taught me and my brother, boys don't hit girls and girls don't hit boys. Now, a lot of those men or male species that are the perpetrators of domestic violence, if we look back down the hallway, they were the ones falling out in the grocery store, in the store when their mom said, no, you can't have something. They never, the root of this is they can't accept the word no.
Right.
Well, that's because it goes back to their attachment style. That word no means that I'm trying to figure out how to get my needs met because my needs wasn't met. And so I'm going to take control at all costs to get my needs met.
Right.
My daughter, with my grandson, he's 15, 16 months. And Deuce is he's a baby. But I watch how my daughter and her husband interact with him, even on FaceTime. And I can be talking to my daughter and my son will be like, Deuce, William, no. And his head will snap around and it's that eye contact. And at 16 months, he's understanding that word no means whatever I'm doing, I need to reverse course and just accept that I can't go play with the lazy Susan.
That's right. And that's done because your daughter and her husband is providing the no surrounded with physical and emotional need to be met. A child knows when they're not getting it's not wrapped up in love.
Right.
They know that and they respond unconsciously to that. You could tell them no, you can beat them all day. No, but they know it ain't wrapped up in love. That's why your grandson responds positively to it because it's all wrapped up in love.
Which makes a world of a difference. I do think that it is extremely important, women and men, for you when you are vetting someone to bring them around. I actually did not do that in the past because I got tired of people saying, you know, he this, he that, he this, you know. I'm like, you know, I make my own decisions. But guess what? They weren't always the best decisions. So my mother is really good at calling out some stuff, which is crazy because I'm the same way with my daughter too. So I used to say, you know what? I'm not even going to take him around because I know my mother. She going to find something. She going to find something. You know what I mean? And so then, you know, you look up and now it's later. But I think now, I'm like, oh, okay, you got to meet X, Y, and Z. You got to meet this person, and you've got to meet this person. And it's not that I value their opinion over mine, but what it is exactly what you said before. People on the outside see things that you don't see, which is the truth. Because when you're in the middle of it, and I think for young ladies and young men, this will prevent a lot of you going down these pathways of ending up with some of these people who are not good for you. And that's what we for me, that is what I want for people today, because so many young women and are getting killed, men too, because these women have turned into, I don't know what these women are out here
Savages.
doing. Savage.
Yes, they
That's
just
a
turn
perfect-
into the male figure in the
Girl.
relationships. Yes.
And the reality of it is, if a person tell you they do not want you, that is
Believe it.
not the end of the world.
Say things. Oh, can I say one last thing?
No, say what you were about to say.
Say one last thing. When you said that they goodness, you was just talking about that they your mom, you let your mom meet them. Okay, so when I met when me and Karan started dating, I said, you got to meet so and so, so and so, so and so, so and so. Like, I'm giving you a lineup of people that you have to meet.
Right.
But one thing for sure, I value all those people because they never gonna say anything to harm me. They only do it because they love me. But secondarily, a lot of women, and this is where we have to go and work on our inner selves. You cannot date a man thinking you can save them and fix them. If they come to you broken, they are broken.
Girl,
and that would keep you from in his office.
Yes. Women too.
Yeah.
The same.
Yeah.
If you dating a woman who is broken,
you
she's
can't
broken.
Yes. Yes.
So in this,
I think I'm sorry, Aaron.
Go ahead.
Good question. If we look back 20, 25 years, the question used to be, are you got a boyfriend, you got a girlfriend,
yes.
you got your own car, you got a degree, how's your credit? I think it's important now these days to ask the questions. Have you been to counseling?
Seriously.
Yes.
Seriously.
Because at my age, 46, going on 47, I can work with your credit.
Mm-hmm.
The country got bad credit, so let's not get lost on that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, the bare minimum is housing, transportation, employment. But let's go a step deeper.
That's right.
Have you been to counseling?
I like that.
Do you have a relationship with God?
There you go. Yes.
Do you have a relationship with your children?
No.
Yeah. Oh,
that.
Look, period, and drop that mic.
Shoot, you need to put an REV in front of your name, sir, because that was the gospel right there.
Yes, exactly.
No, but it is the truth.
That's
and
so
that's another
true.
thing too that is so important, because a lot of these women, and men too, but I'm saying women mostly, get involved with people, have these kids with these guys, and they are not involved in their kids and their other children's lives. And so then when you decide that you don't want it to be over, you're like, well, I just can't believe he would do this. And I'm like, well, why did you think that?
That's right. Yeah.
Because he already didn't have a relationship with the other 4 kids.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is a pattern. This is who he is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Your kid isn't special.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want people to be aware, like you guys say, like Patsy said, before even entering into the relationship, there are some things you should be doing before you even get to that point. And I think Tquan said, like, before you even say we locked in.
Mm-hmm.
These are some things you need to be asking. Like, I know that it was a meme going around with the red flags. Remember last year or 2 years ago? And it was like, if they do this, red flag. If they do this, red flag. And I know people make jokes about it, but there really are some things that you should be looking for. And like Tquan said, with the phone thing, he making you prop your phone up at work. That's a red flag. You know what I'm saying?
Burgundy flag.
Yeah. That's control. Right? That is control.
Yeah, and it leads to other places. You know, a person who have to know it's okay to know where people are. You know, I'm getting ready to go to the grocery store. I'm getting ready to go here. But they checking mileage on your car. They checking to see if the gas meter moved.
Ooh.
They drove by your job a couple of times. All of these are definitely signs. Those are not cute. That's not cute.
No. And telling you, and look at temper to me. You go to the
Oh my
restaurant
God, yes.
and the waiter forgot to put the ice in your water. You said ice water, not water. And they like, I said ice water. Why you bring me water? Look at that. That's a red
Okay,
flag.
definitely.
Patsy, baby. I walked out on a date for that very reason.
Yes.
Because this guy asked the waitress for his salad dressing on the side. She made a mistake and put it on the salad, and he cursed her out from the top to the bottom. And I told that girl, bring my bill. Look, this is how girls stuck together. I said, I'm going to pay for my stuff, and you can wrap my stuff up. Girl, I moseyed on out the door. She got me my food, and I left right on out and left him at that table. Because
That's right.
all of that is important. You have to
That's
pay
right.
attention to all of those things up front.
So in the time we have left, we probably did, and I didn't hear it, but I don't think we did. We didn't get into the whole rejection part. And when people feel rejected, I was having a conversation with Keela, and Keela was telling me that there are guys who, when they hit on a girl and the girl's not interested, they'll do little drama. They'll turn into little drama queens and pull out guns or do something that makes her scared to give her the phone number. Where does that come from? What's that? Is that new?
No, that's not.
That is
I'm
not
sorry.
new, because that happened to me when I was in high school. A guy pulled out a gun on me. So, Tquan, go ahead with your answer.
No, it's not new. It's the it goes back to, like I said, the kid in the grocery store that falls down. I've even heard young ladies say, "Well, I just give them the number and then I block them after." Or the new thing is, I give them my Instagram and then I block them after. I say, "Well, why?" Well, because these dudes crazy. They'll kill you if you don't. And there has been instances, but that goes back, and I hate to say it, it goes to the upbringing in the household of young men who have the mother is in the house coddling them and not letting them feel the pain and the sting of, no, sit your tail down.
Yes.
I tell my girl, my favorite word, no.
Yeah.
No, even if I was gonna say it, no.
But then that also, let's go back to, a lot of them probably don't even have father figures in their lives.
Absolutely.
And they're looking for affirmation of a man. Son, you know, I'm proud of you. Son, this is how you do it. And so they use their macho-ness to gain control, to get somebody to give them a fake sense of affirmation.
Right, exactly.
It's not even an affirmation, and that's why you got men out here that don't know why they're sleeping with 20 women. Because that's their affirmation that they lack from abandonment from parents.
Yes.
So you gotta, when I say this parent, I told my hairstylist yesterday, parenting is not for the weak. No. If you don't have the strength, go get some birth control.
No, seriously.
It ain't for the
real.
weak.
It's not.
No, and you're right on that, because as I said, I have 4 children. And I had my first child when I was 18. My youngest will be 18 in November. And for the longest, I felt like I could parent my children the way my mother, grandmothers, uncles, and aunts parented me. It wasn't until about a year and a half ago, and I looked at it and I said, yo, it was during the pandemic. I said, it's wild being a teenager this day and age because of the technology, the temptation. But I realized with each one of my children, they were inherently different. So trying to parent them the way I was parented. Now it's coming back to haunt me, because my youngest daughter, like, yo, you whooped me with a switch. You did this, you did that. And for me, I thought I was doing exactly what I was taught.
That's right.
That don't work.
That's not at all. Not with this generation.
Yeah, see, I don't necessarily subscribe to some of that old parenting, but some things are great, but some things are not, because just like Tquan said, we're in a different time. Things have to be handled a little bit differently, and they are exposed to a lot
more.
Like a lot of the stuff they are exposed to. Some of the questions my daughter asked me in middle and high, girl, I didn't even know till I was in college, and I'm like, well, what? Why are you asking me that? But at the same time, I counted an honor and a privilege that she came to me. But I didn't even know about some of this stuff you asking me about until later. So I think that rejection thing is, like you said, Patsy, it's got a lot to do with men not teaching their sons,
Yes.
men not teaching their women not teaching their daughters. That and even for my own child, you know, they go through things, and I'm like, listen, if they said X, Y, and Z, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Leave it right there,
Right there.
at the doorstep, because I promise you, today it feels terrible.
Yeah.
But tomorrow you're gonna look back at this. I promise you, you're gonna look back at this and laugh. And I know that sounds so cliche, but it is the truth.
It's true.
Yeah.
You move on. You just you move on.
Yeah. Quick
And the
story.
young ladies, I'm sorry, the young ladies also pay attention and understand who you're dealing with. I look at the situation with the young lady that was killed and kidnapped from DMC. You're dealing with an individual male who his last child's mother disappeared under uncommon circumstances. And now you shoot and kill her and she's gone. If this dude's first baby mama
disappeared, exactly,
you should disappear.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what that goes back to. You can't save them. Don't try to fix them.
Right. So, quick story. When I was married, I married into a daughter, and she grew into a teenager, and she was dating. So she's going out on dates. So me and her mom was in the kitchen, and she flew through the kitchen. All right, I'll see y'all later. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Hold on. You gone? Yeah. He outside. Oh, no.
I know that's right. No.
We don't just go out the house because he called you from his car.
That's right.
I mean, that's what prostitutes do. Are you?
Oh, yes.
I mean, that's how, to be candid, that's how white people got to be called honkies, because they would go into the black neighborhoods to the whorehouse and honk the horn for the hookers to come out. That's how we started calling them honkies, right?
Wow.
I'm like, so is this dude a honky or what? And she was like, no. I said, bring that dude in here. And I told him, man, look, if you ever pick her up again, if you do, don't ever call her and ask her to come out like that. That's disrespectful to me.
It is disrespectful.
Her mother to her. And he was like, no, I didn't mean. I said, dude, I'm coming to you softly because I know you don't know. But don't, for future reference, don't ever just honk the horn or call the girl to come out. That's just disrespectful.
Right.
But see, Aaron, that goes back to teachings.
Yes.
Because with the same thing you just said, I was taught that as a young man from my uncles.
Mm-hmm.
My uncle used to say, only a hoe responds to a horn.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
So with me having teenage daughters, rather, one teenager, one grown, my oldest daughter is married, but my youngest daughter, when she comes home from college, if she goes out on a date, let a dude pull up in my driveway blowing a horn. Okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the
I'm
truth.
gonna go outside and I'm gonna let you know now she's not going. Because I'm learning already you haven't been taught how to treat a woman.
Exactly. So I really hate to wrap this show up. It is so much to talk about.
Part 2.
Yeah.
We gotta have a part 2. Are you guys open for a part 2?
All day long.
To talk about the dang, where'd he go? he took his earbuds out. Listen. We gotta do a part 2.
Okay.
Look, I'll talk to Tquan. Here he go. I was like, where did he go?
Did somebody go to home for your daughter or something?
I was getting ready.
So listen, we gotta have a part 2 for this because I would really like to talk about the rejection side of it a little bit more in depth, like he talked about. So maybe we can all discuss a part 2 off the grid. But really, really quick, Tquan and Patsy, some closing statements. Y'all got 30 seconds.
Mine is just use your support system when you start dating to look at the red flags.
Amen.
Mine would be black men, get some counseling.
Yeah.
I love it. Aaron, really quick.
Real quick, go to the car and meet the dude taking your daughter out because you don't want no fools in your family.
That's right.
Exactly.
No, that's right.
And my last things is be involved. Be involved. Be involved with the people around. And don't always think that people are just hating on you.
That's right.
You know, some people really do genuinely love you. And with that being said, listen, we're gonna do a part 2. And you guys have an awesome Sunday. And we'll talk to you guys very soon. Enjoy your Memorial Day.
Yes.
And hit the like button and share the podcast.
Yeah.
So talk to you guys later.